Many here in Central PA are worried about data centers changing the landscape of their communities. But this week, the landscape for data centers could change in Pennsylvania, as lawmakers are set to consider multiple pieces of legislation. One could prevent development for 180 days. CBS 21's Andrew Klein live at the Capitol with why some say this is needed and how others say this could cost Pennsylvania millions. Andrew?
Alex, it's three different bills from three different representatives, all really with one common goal. That's to increase transparency from data center developers here in Pennsylvania. But the Data Center Coalition says that if they aim to keep data centers out of Pennsylvania altogether, it could cost the state millions down the road. Across the Commonwealth, municipality meetings are filled with folks concerned about data centers, and state legislators say they're fighting for their constituents.
We cannot keep it a secret from the public or even the supervisors who are voting for this, who's building on that property. And it is something that we've seen over and over again.
AI is an important growth driver for data centers, there's no question. But I think it's a common misperception that everything related to data centers is all because of AI. Okay. And that's why I pointed out all the different devices and services that we rely on that require digital infrastructure. The vast majority of data centers being built today and being put in operation are for cloud infrastructure.
There are already multiple House bills that have been passed to the Senate, and now three more enter the mix. One aimed at prohibiting state and local government agencies from entering non-disclosure agreements with data center developers. One that gives municipalities an opportunity for a 180-day pause on all data center applications while they develop proper ordinances and protections for their community. And one that aims to establish strict guidelines for developers seeking tax incentives to protect Pennsylvanians.
We need to give the power back to our communities and the people, and we need to let them know that these are supported. They have the right to decide what goes into their community.
The Data Center Coalition says that without data centers and without securing them fast, Pennsylvania might not only fall behind, but dig itself into a hole it can't climb out of.
If you can go across the border to Ohio or down to Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland even, you're still going to be on the same grid. Pennsylvania won't realize the benefits because it puts in place significant hurdles to actually developing in the state.
There's a pretty good chance we see these three bills voted on this upcoming Wednesday. So when we find out the results of that vote, you will as well, both on air and online at CBS21.com. Live in Dauphin County, Andrew Klein, CBS 21 News.
Tonight, as companies push to bring data centers to PA, we're learning more about proposals to keep power in the hands of our local communities. The State House is expected to consider at least three bills this week on the controversial topic. CBS 21's Andrew Klein is live at the Capitol to tell us what voters need to know. So, Andrew, can you talk to us a little bit about those three bills in general? Just a quick breakdown of what we're looking at here.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. So we'll start with the first bill. That is from Representative Ciresi. That bill really hoping for transparency. It would restrict state and local government agencies from entering non-disclosure agreements with data center developers, that is. The second one from Representative Friel allows municipalities to have the option to put a 180-day pause on data center applications until proper ordinances and protections for their community are developed. And then the third one from Representative Webster, it really certifies the governor's responsible infrastructure development. So it puts strict enforceable guidelines on any developers that are looking to bring a data center to Pennsylvania for tax incentives.
So what is the real purpose of these bills from the House Democrats? Why are they working to put stricter regulations on these data centers?
Yeah, well, they really want to put as much power as possible into the hands of these local municipalities. I spoke to Representative Ciresi today, who told me that he feels like they don't have enough. They don't really have the opportunity to say no if a municipality feels that it doesn't want a data center in its backyard, or if the people in a municipality don't want a data center in their backyard. Right now, there's really no avenue for the municipalities to do that. They don't have that power right now. So that's the big thing that House Dems want, is these local, smaller governments to have that power to say, we don't want a data center in our backyard and we're not going to let you build one.
Were you able to talk to anybody on the other side of the aisle who do want the data centers? What is their response to this?
Yeah, we heard from the Data Center Coalition. Basically, long story short, they feel like too many restrictions will just send data centers out of Pennsylvania. And it is a big economic boost for Pennsylvania. It's something that, lawmakers on both sides understand is important. And, the Data Center, Coalition feels that the more you restrict these data centers and tell them they have to live by these certain guidelines, well, they're just going to pick up and say, we don't want to be in Pennsylvania. And that's a problem that Pennsylvania is going to have to face way later down the road. These are, millions of dollars that wouldn't be coming into the state that is a huge boost for Pennsylvania, especially in the time that we're living in right now, with a couple of the surrounding states near PA really going all in on this data center stuff.
Right, absolutely. I know Virginia is doing that as well. And this data center debate is not going anywhere. So Andrew Klein, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.